they don't understand themselves in a way where I feel like the coach again is trying to. Yeah, they really do. Maybe they need a sports psychologist, right?
Yeah.
But I called out Jawhead, not a good pick for BTR. Farsa, not a good pick here for BTR because they're just so messy. And these two heroes are very, again, discipline dependent. It sounds weird because you want chaotic fights with the Jawhead, but also with the Jawhead, you need to be coordinated. You need to know who to target properly. They picked both those heroes, and you saw, again, they weren't able to utilize those two heroes to the maximum potential after they started grouping up.
Honestly, if that's the case, you know what I personally want? Just play double Revitalize.
Yeah,
right.
That was, in most of their wins in MPID, they go for double Revitalize or Light gets show.
Simplify the process here. Make sure you stick together and you have tools that forces you to stick together. Now we come into the second game here. Team Falcons are on blue side. The Bigatron Esports are on red side. With the Kalia as the first pick with follow-ups of Zushin as well as Suyo. We see the Team Falcons' whole priority as Moskov has already been locked in. And speaking of which, as much as we're talking about the execution prowess coming in from Bigatron and how split up they are, I think now more than ever that Kalia falls into the hands of Team Falcons. You have to be together because if you want to stop that Tsunami Slam, just kill the Kalia midair.
Yeah. Well, at least I interviewed Keyboy the other day, and he did say the reason why Kalia hasn't been like super top tier is basically three criteria. Number one, still a lot of pro players don't really utilize the passive that well, so that's number one. Number two, you need a brain using this hero, which I like the shade he throws to other people. It's like, kena pintar sih. It's like, okay, I get it, you know? And another one, and this is the most important thing, Kalia is not like a Suyo. A Suyo can fit in any draft. Kalia, not really. You need some kind of burst. So right now for Team Falcons, I feel like if Bigatron is able to take out some burst in the mid, that can help them out. But the Joy is open, so I don't know if Bigatron wants to take out the Joy. Considering that they have a Badang, I feel like they can fight against it, but with them not really being all that coordinated, I don't know what's the call here. It's like they're running out the Eve.
Yeah, no, I agree with you here. I think at least for Team Falcons, if we're talking about like backline dive, it's definitely possible, right? You have two heroes that can technically sneak into that backline alongside the clear to abuse that passive, get that double profit of the heal. But then coming into Bigatron Esports, did you see any of the games where we saw Kalia and the natural response for a lot of MPL ID teams was to be the Jushin, especially coming to day 2, day 3.
I think people are saying that the Jushin is one of the most efficient ways to kind of utilize. I wouldn't say punish, but the fact that she can be great on Purify is one of the reasons. So either it's the Jushin or the Sicilian.
Both of which really good picks. Now we see the Eve alongside with the CC here. Team Falcons doing a really good job at making sure that, hey, Luke, you're not going to win this lane as easily as you think it's going to be.
Lucas?
Phoveus smashes Lucas.
Yeah. But I think we've seen a lot of different matchups now. I think the main, like the real counter is the CC and the Valentina, right? The Phoveus, yes, has the advantage over the Lucas, but it's not overwhelming like a CC Valentina. So yes, it's still possible if Bigatron want to try to utilize that. Hey, look, it's Eterna, Cavalry.
More so, I mean, Team Falcons want to pick up the Lucas in the jungle again, right?
That's a good point.
Look at this. Bigatron, they're banning out control mages in mid. Maybe they do want to go for like a straight dive. Like I'm hoping for something like a high loss where they can just force an entry, because they're already banning out the Aurora and Eve. This is a good setup for Light just to like just straight up brawl.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take the simple answer, they could also just go for the Cho, right? It's still up for grabs. So both those heroes, Hylos, I mean, to be fair, even the Gatot Kacha would actually work out here against the Moskov. You're really good at just taking that damage, and against Phoveus, just taunt him whenever he jumps in.
I think both of which are really, really good, but at the same time, I do think that Bigatron Esports might be leaning into a strategy, because we saw what the early game looked like in game number 1. They do come in with a templated plan, and then it gets a little bit messy towards the neutral objectives. Maybe they're looking to try and punish Hugh in the mid lane, where other teams have succeeded and found their series wins against them. And there we go, it's the Bruno lock-in for Bigatron Esports.
Yeah, still hiding that roam pick. Hylo's getting banned out, but again, not that big of an issue because we did talk about how there's many different roamers that can be utilized here. For Team Falcons, when it comes to the mid lane, I feel like the Farsa is still good. Okay, Lee ban. Selena is it's just that I don't know if they have the wave clear to safely pick up that hero right now.
Sorry, I think this Badang could still be flexed, right? Technically, the Cho could still be picked up for Bigatron.
Could be, definitely. And for Team Falcons, again, the Lucas is still up for grabs, technically, right? There's no Valentina on the other side just yet, but I think that's why Bigatron are trying to flex this Bedang pick all the way to the end. So in case you do go Lucas, we could still go Valentina XP, which wouldn't do too well against the Phobias. I think it's like kind of a meh lane, but it would get a lot of value up against this. So there you go, Bigatron.
Beautiful.
Decision now. Do they go for Valentina, or do they concede, or not concede, but like just... Would they let the Lucas run loose again?
I don't know. It's going to be pretty difficult to punish it at this time, especially since they have... Because, again, a really good synergy is Lucas as well as Kalia, because Lucas can basically anti-CC certain things, and then Kalia can come in, or vice versa. It's really nasty stuff for the early game.
Honestly, Kalia just giving that heal might even be enough.
Dude, I think it should be.
Yeah, like he jumps in, and he's not going to be alone. There's going to be a Kalia following and Phobias, and then free hits for Moskov and This is a nasty composition. Right now, it's like the battle of who CCs each other first, right? If the Bedang locks them all in once first, then sure, Bigatron might have a way.
Personally, for me, if Badang can lock down the Lucas, that's enough. The rest is a bonus, but I feel like the problem is going to be that Lucas.
It's going to be a thumb war. Ooh!
I like it.
This works out. We were looking for a way to kind of disengage from these types of plays, a ways to kind of like slow down the fight if necessary against Team Falcons, and this is one way of doing it. Now, LaFell, thoughts on both the drafts before we start heading into the game?
Personally, for me, I feel like Falcons draft is more synergistic and easier to use.
Yes.
So this is one of those drafts, you don't really have to think so much about your mechanics, just think about the macro, and that really favors them.
I like the ideas here. Team Falcons currently a point up on Bigatron Esports as we start heading into game at number 2 of this best-of-5 series. Here in the quarterfinals, it's going to be Eterna and Mirko at the mic.
Thank you so much, Gideon. Thank you so much, LaFell. We'll catch back up with you later on as this game precludes itself. But game number 2 now. Mirko, how are we feeling about this?
Honestly, like the drafts aren't bad. Game number 1, it wasn't a bad draft from Bigatron. Heck, they won early game, and here, the question is just how comfortable are these players at executing this kind of game plan? Like LaFell said, I feel like they have been over thinking a lot of their drafts, a lot of their executions as well. And giving them a very hard to execute draft like this kind of plays into it a bit, right? So it's either they're on point or they're going to have multiple miscoordinations like we saw in game 1.
So we'll see, ladies and gentlemen, as we head over into the Land of Dawn for game number 2 between Bigatron Esports and Falcons from the Philippines. You can see both these teams starting to go on their early rotations as we get a little bit of a feel as to the spells as well as the emblem choices for both of the teams.
Still the killing spree from Annabelle. Again, I'm all in for the killing spree, you know, but up against these kind of compositions, especially last game, I think the MP Rage is still better. You need that sustain. You're not going to be killing a lot of dudes or getting a lot of dudes low initially. Annabelle walking up straight. Oh, getting the Blade Surge down. Oh, going to be taken very low. Forced to flicker out. Again, it's BTR with that early aggression.
Still able to get out though. So Team Falcons have a little bit more of a say in this early stage of the game, especially that they do have heroes like the Farsa who can wings by wings, rotate fast, clear fast as well. I think a lot better than Moreno should be doing on the Jushin. We'll see how that goes to play, especially on these side lanes. Kalti's already with a rotation into the bottom side of the map. Luke, though, goes in for this 2v1. Light is there as well.
Uh-oh.
Doesn't get it.
Yeah, tries to go for the shove, a cheeky shove there. Good moves by Kaltizi. Walking in, going back in, right? Going back out, actually. Moreno putting the damage down on Kyle, putting the utility. Good poke by Annabelle into the mid lane. Ogwin looking for that slam. Good body block from Light, but Annabelle takes a big chunk of damage.
Yeah, he's really low right now. So what is going to be the call here? I think he's going to try to clear in for that because going back now would means that they would let go of the neutral objective taken. I don't think that's the plan that they were kind of willing to go for. He focused on the purple buff first. We see FlapTZ opening up the map, giving information for his team. And it looks like Annabelle is done first. Let's see if he's going to be able to get this neutral objective uncontested.
Let's see. Good Lantern Flare over FlapTZ. Displacement from Luke as well. No passive just yet. Infernal Pursuit not going to be used by FlapTZ. Annabelle's looking for the Queller. Ogwin doesn't read it right there. Oh, look at the dive from the Sacred Beast! Light able to get that implosion down, but that's going to be first blood. Is now Super Mako! Dives in as well! A full dive, and this time it's Team Falcons that start out with a 3-kill lead plus the neutral objective.
Yeah, that should propel them to maybe a 1k gold lead in this first few minutes of the game. The way that they layered their skills is something that I want to see from Bigatron. Meanwhile, top lane.
Uh-oh, Eman trying to save the Purify earlier. One last spear to the heart of Eman up top. It's another 4-0 for Falcons this time.
So to make things worse, with Team Falcons holding on to everything on the map here in the first few minutes of the game, they're also going to be able to take down Eman as well. The one anchor that Bigatron Esports have been able to hold on to. And Team Falcons, they know it, right? They're going to make him really struggle. They're going to make him suffer for it. And oh, that's the damage again!
No Purify, Eman able to escape still. But that means say goodbye to the entire wave up top. He decides to stay. This might be a costly one. No, light's still there. Down below, Fist Crack. Luke forced to flicker out. No trades on the board for BTR. Falcons reading BTR out completely.
Zero neutral objectives, zero kills. It's a tough early game now for Bigatron Esports. I mean, considering they have the Bruno as well in the gold lane that requires a little bit of a snowball, don't really think this is going according to their plan at all.
No, definitely not. This is the early game that they put Falcons in just in game number 1, but now they find themselves in Falcons PH game 1 position. And honestly, it looks really bad because they have a Suyo, they have the Bruno in the lane with the Badang too. They should have ways. Juice in!
Yeah.
They should have ways to actually control the early game up against this composition. You wouldn't expect the Moskov to get that much value in the first 4 minutes of the game. I think putting it simply, that right there. The Moskov has this much, 2 kills early on already. This is Super Marco! You give him 2 kills at the start. You know he's going to be Monster Marco soon, right?
2,000 gold lead, almost, for Super Marco again.
Yikes.
Corrosion Scythe, 2 kills. And this is on a late game hero that requires a little bit more time to get to that power spike. So it is something that Bigatron Esports really need to consider now. Do they want to go for the 50-50 contest again?
Uh-oh, Tsunami Slam, Impulsion, and the Fist Crack combo together! That's the combo they were looking for! And this time they find it, but Super Marco is going to go in as well with SOD. Lifted up in place again, as the Purify gets out, but they want to go for the chase. Moreno still on him, Lantern Flare! Moreno gets a double, and BTR are back.
Wow, just like that. Just like that, off that entire team fight that was, created by Luke as well as Light. This is what happens when this team is on the same page. We get to see that brilliance coming through. They have a little bit more space to work with. Eman gets a little bit more gold in this mid lane, also able to take that turret down.
Honestly, they turned it now. Now I'm thinking the 2,000 gold lead at the start is a curse, like... Bigatron got a 2,000 gold lead in the previous game. Then they initiated on Flap TZ, the frontliner. We saw that here again, Ogwen went for the Tsunami Slam on Light. That put him in prime position to go for a Flicker Implosion. Without a Flicker, he knows there's no Purify, and he gets another.
Decisive, another kill over Flap TZ.
No, now it's Flap walking up again. He doesn't have Flicker to escape this time. He goes back in and gets quelled by Annabelle.
You know what, I think you're right. 2-0 trade right now. A little bit more for Bigatron Esports to work with. 1,300 gold lead. What's going on with Team Falcons? They're going to be able to pick up yet another turret in this top side of the map. Super Marco luckily gets that second item, so he is on the way to the Holy Trinity of attack speed. But here we are, Bigatron holding on to control once again.
At this point, give your opponents the lead at the start of the game.
We don't need it.
No one needs it. Falcons didn't need it in game 1. Seems Bigatron are fine given the 2,000 gold in the early game. It's an odd day for MLBB, but it's oddly entertaining.
You can see now, Flap TZ again was in a weird position earlier on. I think he was trying to, delay the take from Bigatron Esports to get the purple buff, but I think he was positioned a little bit too forward, was taken out before they could go in for this team fight. Again, Flap TZ.
This time jumping on Flap TZ again in the bottom lane. Super Marco able to take out the turret now, as that's going to be the dive. Feather airstrike coming in with SOD too. Annabelle in the midst of it all jumping in. Now gets shot down. Annabelle will be clawed down by Ogwen. Now Moreno is able to oh, hold up.
That's
Crimson
a pause.
Beacon. That's a pause.
That's a pause of the day.
First pause of the day.
It's a pause.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, please do be patient with us. We're seeing, oh man, the crowd now has joined in. You can see everybody already here. Hey, are they having a Mobile Masters Day?
Whose side are they on though? That's a big question.
I see more red than green, so in that shirt.
You might be colorblind then.
Oh, Lafelle,
What?
welcome back.
No, you're colorblind.
Wait, can you guys even hear me?
Gideon, are you here?
Yes, we're here too. We're
Yeah.
always
Oh.
here for every technical pause, boys. And I think it was very obvious that BTR definitely was experiencing a lag spike there. Annabelle walking into the wall.
Yeah,
Ouch.
that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Annabelle got taken down.
But while we're here, I might as well do the analysis about the 2K goal thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because twice now we see the Farsa is like betraying herself of what she's supposed to do.
Okay.
Because we saw in game number 1, Farsa went all in onto the Hilda, and this
Yeah.
time it went all the way into the
Light.
Yeah,
Tigreal.
yeah. Don't walk into the light. That's what people say, right?
Yeah.
Now,
I mean,
here's the thing. Why I say
Depends.
no, this is why I say like they're betraying themselves, because if you look at the items, Phil built a Genius 1, which is amazing against squishies,
Okay.
but not really all that great against tankier guys. And even if you look, if he wants to deal damage to the front line, it should be an impure rage. Right, so that's just what I'm saying is just that you can deal damage against the front line, but the way that you're building this Farsa is like your coach is telling you deal damage to the damage dealers, not the front line. So
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, a bit of a not disciplined moment by both mid laners happened in game 1 as well as game 2. And now I'm jumping back.
Okay, we're jumping back in. Thank you, Gideon. Thank you, Lafelle, for accompanying us for just a bit. But here we are back into the game, ladies and gentlemen. 7 minutes have elapsed. BTR Esports still hold on to control as they are now contesting for the next neutral objective, which is this turtle. You can see Moreno opening things up, looking for vision. But I think Team Falcons, they're kind of far away. Are they in a position to contest?
I think they're in a position to just stay in it, right? Like, the studio's not there, so technically for Bigatron, they're just buying time for Annabelle to walk back up, and now they have Annabelle over the turtle. Now Falcons PH will just concede as a turtle. It was too risky for them to contest, but without the Suyo, they were just hovering around in case BTR gambled it.
And I think Team Falcons was looking for a trade down bottom. So we did see Super Marco looking to get some damage onto the turret, unable to get it. He did go for the clear though, and he is on his way once again, like we mentioned earlier, onto his third item of this game. I think things could really change when he gets that Holy Trinity.
Sky Piercer for Moreno. You know what? I'm glad we see the Sky Piercer back on the Juice In. I think the group stages, we just rarely see the Sky Piercer on ESA. We've just been seeing a lot more utility Juice Ins for the most part. So now back to the killer, and I think it's good timing too. He's had 3 kills so far. He'll add up more as he gets more Sky Piercer stacks. Super Marco, always active on the map.
I think they also know that they need a little bit more damage, right? Eman, as sole damage dealer, has been a problem in these team fights as he gets taken down. 1v1.
Annabelle, not gonna be solo killed. Trying to go for a fight in the end, gets soloed, but he did buy a little bit more time for the rest of the team to try to go for this pickoff, even though I don't think Marco will stay that long. Annabelle.
Interesting. Looking for that 1v1 kill over to Super Marco. He has a lot of disengage as a Moskov, so that's something that Annabelle will remember the next time they see each other. But Feather Airstrike opened up here. Some damage given over to Moreno. But all the while, things have slowed down quite a bit with no objectives on the board just yet.
Yeah, it was very, very weird there from Annabelle. Walks up to his demise. Near a wall too, right? So it wasn't particularly the best place to even look for a fight against Moscow. But Bigatron still hold the lead. But unfortunately for them, Super Marco is online. 8,000 gold already. 3-item power spike. Thank you, Annabelle, for getting that early golden staff now for Super Marco.
Ouch. We did mention that this is a huge power spike for Team Falcons, so coming into this next neutral objective take, we need to keep an eye out for that. Bigatron, though, still the first one in the vicinity. Moreno looking to clear that wave in the mid lane, but remember Team Falcons having the Moskov means that they do have a little bit more pressure onto the far lane, so it's another headache that Bigatron Esports have to deal with. All he needs to do is SOD back. Exactly. He gets a turret for free.
They are getting out macroed right now, BTR. That 1,000 gold lead is an illusion. Team Falcons PH are holding tempo on every part of the map. Even here on the Lord, it's not BTR who are holding it. That's a conceal for Team Falcons, getting more control. And now they are in position to look for a mistake. A desperate move from Bigatron could be the end for them.
I think Team Falcons have an idea that Eman is not necessarily in the team fight just yet. He was caught in the top side looking for the clear. Super Marco is still there as well, though. That's a rotation coming through from Bigatron. But they're still opening up the map. They don't know. Super Marco should be able to recall.
He's tapping it slowly but surely here because if it's just Eman, he wants to pick up a fight. If it's more than just Eman, he wants to recall. He notices, you know, they're off the map. They've not been seen for such a long time. They are probably up top. So good call by Super Marco there. Decides to recall, following through to the recall. Now it gives Bigatron Alpha, or Esports rather, more time, a window of opportunity.
Good feeling. But he should be able to replicate that same thing that he did earlier on. But the difference is now, Lord is already at quarter health.
Annabelle looking for the red tree right now. It's Calteezy walks in. Annabelle still picks it up. Now Slice able to get the shove down on the flat, but Annabelle will be disintegrated by Super Marco, who landed the SOD. Light falling as well to the claws of Calteezy as Luke is left to fend for himself. One straight push into the mid lane. 20 seconds on the death timers as Luke is brought far into the enemy lines.
But it was Bigatron Esports to pick up the Lord, but I don't think it's going to be enough time. They're going to go for the end here.
12 minutes.
That's it.
6 seconds on Eman. A wipeout will do it. Team Falcons now on match point, flying high in the sky.
No Lord, no problem. This is match point. One more game away of stepping forward and eliminating the red robots out of the Snapdragon Pro Series Mobile Masters.
Oh my goodness, Team